The Galactic Council had seen many species rise and fall across the millennia, but none quite like humanity. When the humans first appeared at the council chambers on Nexus Prime, most delegates dismissed them as another primitive species barely worthy of associate membership. That was before the Zephyrian incident. Lisa Chen stood at the observation deck of the diplomatic station, watching the sleek Zephyrian vessels approach through the viewport. As Earth's chief xenobiologist, she had been studying the various alien species for 3 years now, but something about the Zephyrians had always unsettled her. Their elongated insectoid frames and multifaceted eyes gave them an otherworldly appearance, but it was their cold, calculating nature that truly disturbed her. Another cultural exchange, William Rodriguez muttered beside her, adjusting his military uniform. As head of human security for the diplomatic mission, he had grown increasingly suspicious of the Zephyrians' frequent visits to human settlements. The Zephyrian delegation was led by hive mind Zerath, a creature whose chittering voice could barely be translated by the universal communicators. When the aliens requested permission to visit the human colony on Kepler 442b, the Galactic Council enthusiastically approved it as part of their interspecies harmony initiative. What they discovered 3 days later would change everything. The emergency transmission crackled through the council chambers with desperate urgency. Captain Sarah Mitchell's voice, strained and breaking, echoed across the vast assembly hall. "This is Colony 7. They took them. Dear God, they took the children." The Zephyrians had not come for cultural exchange. They had come for specimens. 47 human children, ages 4 to 12, had been abducted from the colony's primary school during what was supposed to be an educational visit about alien biology. Ambassador Kyrion of the Altarian Federation, a species known for their diplomatic prowess, immediately called for calm. "We must approach this through proper channels," he declared with his characteristic three-toned voice. "The Zephyrians surely have an explanation. Perhaps there was a misunderstanding in translation protocols." The Centaurian delegate nodded in agreement, her crystalline form shimmering with composed light. "Violence has never solved such disputes. We propose a formal inquiry, followed by structured negotiations. These processes take time, but they preserve galactic peace." Lisa watched William's jaw clench as the various alien delegates continued their speeches about patience, protocol, and diplomatic procedure. She had studied enough species to recognize the pattern. To most galactic civilizations, individual lives were statistics, acceptable losses in the grand scheme of maintaining cosmic stability. But they had never dealt with humans before. William stepped forward, his boots echoing in the sudden silence. "How long?" he asked, his voice cutting through the diplomatic chatter like a blade. "Excuse me?" Ambassador Kyrion's translator struggled with the abrupt question. "How long do your proper channels take, your investigations, your negotiations?" William's eyes burned with an intensity that made several delegates step backward. "Such matters typically require several cycles," the Centaurian replied. "Perhaps 6 to 8 of your months, depending on—" "Their children," Lisa interrupted, moving to stand beside William. "Human children. Do you understand what that means to us?" The delegates exchanged confused glances. The concept of emotional attachment to offspring was not universal across species. Many galactic civilizations reproduce through spores, collective consciousness transfers, or mechanical replication. The fierce protective instinct humans felt toward their young was alien to most of them. The Zephyrian representative, who had remained silent throughout the debate, finally spoke. "The specimens were required for our biological research. Compensation will be provided to your breeding population, according to standard galactic protocols." The temperature in the room seemed to drop 10 degrees. William smiled, an expression that somehow conveyed more menace than any threat. "Compensation," he repeated slowly, "for our children." Within 6 hours, every human military vessel within a 50-light-year radius was moving towards Zephyrian space. The Earth Defense Force, which the Galactic Council had dismissed as a minor colonial militia, revealed capabilities that stunned galactic intelligence agencies. The humans didn't request permission. They didn't file diplomatic protests. They didn't wait for committee reviews or council votes. They simply came. The Zephyrian home system of Vega 7 had been considered impregnable, protected by energy shields, that had repelled invasion attempts for millennia. The human fleet arrived and deployed weapons that most species couldn't even comprehend: quantum disruptors that ignored energy shields, kinetic bombardment systems that struck with the force of meteors, and something the humans called nanite swarms that could disassemble matter at the molecular level. But what truly terrified the galaxy was the message that preceded the attack. "This is Admiral Thompson of the Earth Defense Force," the transmission began, broadcast across every communication channel in known space. "You have taken our children. We want them back. You have 12 hours. No demands for negotiations, no appeals to galactic law, no threats of economic sanctions or diplomatic consequences. Just a simple statement and a countdown." The Zephyrians, faced with technology they couldn't understand and a level of focused aggression they had never encountered, capitulated within 8 hours. The children were returned unharmed, though several would require years of psychological treatment. In the aftermath, as the human fleet withdrew as quickly as it had arrived, the Galactic Council convened emergency sessions to discuss the human problem. How had a species so new to galactic civilization developed such devastating military capabilities? How had they moved an entire battle fleet across interstellar distances in mere hours? But Lisa, watching the children reunite with their families on Colony 7, understood something the alien delegates didn't. The humans hadn't revealed advanced technology or superior firepower. They had revealed something far more dangerous. What happened when you threatened a human's cubs? The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humans might be newcomers to the cosmic stage, but they brought with them something most species had evolved beyond: the willingness to burn down the universe for their children. And in the cold vastness of space, sometimes love was the most terrifying weapon of all.